One other thing I'd love to ask you about to do with All Stars 10 was I think I had like somewhere in the back of my mind that I remembered that you and Nicole Paige Brooks are drag mother and daughter, or is it
Yeah,
drag and I always wondered because you were not in the same bracket. And then I
right.
remembered that around I
Which
think it
was
was
a which was a missed opportunity. If you want good television, you would have put me and Nicole in the same bracket.
that's literally what I was about to say because if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, I think not that long ago, Nicole did a live video where she basically said that you two are not on good terms and that she'd blocked you on everything.
Me and Phoenix are not close. No. Actually, I just blocked her on everything, to be honest.
I was just wondering if you could, to give context as to why it would have been good TV for you two to be in the same bracket, could you perhaps talk a little bit about that backstory?
Yeah, I mean, look, and I'll just say me and Nicole have really came a long way, and a lot of it is because of All Stars. We're in a really great spot, the best spot we've been in a very, very long time. So, we thank All Stars for that. Yeah, look, Nicole and I, God, we have known each other pre me doing drag, so probably like 27, 26, 27 years. Think about putting up with Nicole Paige Brooks for 27 years. I, that's a lot. That's a long time to put up with Nicole. I think that, just with time, you just kind of you grow and you change, and I think friendships change and relationships change, and it's part of life. And I think, but at the end of the day, no matter if me and Nicole are like this, we will still have each other's back. I think once you're family, I think family, look, I think even blood family, you fight sometimes, and that's just kind of part of it. And look, and me and Nicole have definitely had our share, our moments for sure. So, but yeah, now we're in a really great spot. And I say if you wanted good TV, put me and Nicole in a bracket together, because especially at that moment, because we were not on the best of terms. So putting two people that really know how to push each other's buttons, and Nicole can push mine very, very quickly, would make great TV. It really would have made great TV.
That's what I was a bit confused about because I remember thinking if I was a producer on the show and I wanted the most drama, I would have put you two on the same bracket knowing that you were not on the best of terms. So I always thought it was, do you think that was a deliberate choice by them to not do it? Or do you think they just didn't even think about it?
I don't know. I don't really know how much investigation they do on if they knew that we were not on the best terms. I mean, it's never really been a huge secret. So I mean,
No.
I don't really know, because I'm like, it really would have it when I first kind of started hearing Nicole, this was pre me knowing our brackets at the moment. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be insane. I literally was like, this is going to be insane. Me and Nicole together, crazy. And then when they separated us, I was like, that was not a smart choice. Like, but I don't know. It would have been great TV though, definitely.
Yeah, I'm very confused as to why they didn't do that. Can you perhaps not to sort of like I don't want to like dig up something. I think because people might
Yeah.
be interested to find out because Nicole kind of said on the thing that you didn't speak and that she had blocked you. So it seemed kind of there was some animosity. Was it just because you'd been known each other for so long, or like was there a fight about a particular thing, or was it just
No, like I said, I think you just with life, I think you just grow apart, and like I said, Nicole just really knows how to push buttons. And, because we've known each other for so long, she's just, she knows how to push my buttons, and it just kind of happens. And, and it just, yeah, I mean, it is nothing big happened. We lived together multiple times. Nicole has done a lot for me, especially in my younger years. But I just kind of grew and changed, and who I was as a person changed, my friends changed, just I just kind of grew up, and and I kind of like left the nest. And then Nicole still loves to be very much I made you, and I'm like, ma'am, ma'am, let's hold a horse, please, cuz yeah. But like I said, we are in a great spot right now, and Yeah, I'm happy to see that the world is loving her right now. They are something is wrong with you guys. But yeah, the world is loving they're loving her. And I it's fun to watch it because I mean Nicole is such a character. She really is such a character. At the end of the day, she does have a huge heart. But you have to get past all the chaos to get to it. But she's a great character. She's fun TV, and I'm happy for her, definitely.
So, what I'd love to get onto is, I guess, All Stars 10 in general. But can
Yeah.
you sort of talk us through? Did you have some sort of highlights and also maybe some lowlights of your run on All Stars 10? What stands out for you?
There was a moment that is a highlight to me. That is not seen on camera. That is something that I kind of treasure. There was a moment in let's see, I think it's the second episode where we're doing the acting challenge. Um, they brought me in, and I'm sitting there, and it's me and RuPaul and I were sitting at each other, and they needed to fix lighting. So this is a kind of a lengthy process. So for like a good 10-ish minutes, me and Ru are sitting there and we're just having a full conversation. And she doesn't do that a whole lot. But it was because, she's from Atlanta. She knew a lot of like legends here in Atlanta. And, one had recently passed away then, Charlie Brown, and she knew Charlie. And, we just kind of sat and talked. And that was a really kind of cool moment. A lot of girls can't say that they sat and just had a friendly conversation with RuPaul like that. So that was really cool. There's definitely some kind of not so good moments. Um, you know, uh, I really was disappointed with I thought I was going to do better with the makeover challenge. As far as, you know, I thought I was going to be at least top two with it. And because like what you guys don't see is like RuPaul was like, you had the best makeover as far as like family resemblance. Um, and so with that, I was kind of like, yay, maybe we're kind of a shoe in for like at least win the top, maybe not win, but the top spot. And it just didn't happen. So I was like disappointed in that. And obviously like the Ice Spice stuff afterwards was kind of crazy. Um, you know, but that was kind of, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Talking about my sister was you guys saw a very edited version of it. I was a disaster talking about her. It was very, very emotional. And they definitely did me a favor by editing it down. Um, that was a crazy moment. I'm not a super emotional person, and to sob on international TV was a lot. Um, but those are a couple of like main things that kind of stand out for me. Yeah.
Because you're yeah, what I felt bad for you in a lot of ways, because obviously on on the actual show you there was a few moments where, because you didn't get any of like the the badges or whatever and stuff, and you
Right.
sort of you talked, there was a moment where I couldn't tell whether it was editing or
Okay,
whether
that was a bad moment also. Yes.
yeah, one of the moments I remember is there was that thing where they were talking about alliances, and I think it came out that there was some alliances, and you seemed like a bit upset that you didn't realize, you felt like a bit shafted, perhaps, that you didn't get back. Was that editing, or did you genuinely feel like that?
I did feel that way. I did feel that way.